Welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at round 2 for the CalSpeed Super Series. In round 1, we had a fantastic day. Starting out, we qualified decently, and then we made it up from 19th to 6th in our heat race. Unfortunately, we got crashed out of the main on the last lap, so hopefully we'll be able to finish our main today. Unfortunately, we lost the footage from our qualifying session as well as the first heat. But in that first heat, we finished in 8th, and due to this Super Series inverted top 10, for the second heat, we're starting 3rd on the second row. Let's see if we can hold on to it. If we can finish somewhere in this top 10-ish, we should be able to make an A main for the Super Series. We have not made a Super Series A main yet. It's a little bit more competitive than the Sprint Series. All right, let's see if we can pull it off. And here we are on the grid. We are slotted up on the second row, starting in 3rd. We've had a lot of good momentum lately. Let's see if we can keep it with a great start to this race.
Around me on familiar faces, born out.
So that didn't go as planned at all. Like I mentioned, we have an inverted top 10 for the second heat of the Super Series, and that means that all of the 7 guys at the top 10 behind me actually had finished ahead of me in the race before, and they served me a slice of humble pie, I'll tell you that much. It is now about halfway into the first lap, and we are about to fall into 10th place. These CalSpeed first laps can be pretty brutal. Everybody is so tight right here on this first lap, and they form trains. It's really, really difficult to get out of a situation where you're getting trained around. But we find ourselves right next to the 55 car here as we're coming up the straight, and it looks like we're just barely going to hold on to the track position that we need to hold the spot, the 10th position into the carousel. And as we notice who is behind us, we see it's Michael Chen. He gives us a little wave. You might remember Michael Chen from some of the classics such as So he's going to tuck in right behind us and push us around the horseshoe. But as you can see, we've already started to drop back off this main group. I will tell you now, the 52 kart, I don't like it. Might be a good car, but I felt like it was really lacking, particularly in the mid to high range, as you'll see later in this race. But Michael puts it up side by side with us, and it looks like he's going to be able to hold on to it here. We're going to hold on to that position. It's pretty difficult to hold that there. We make a little bit of side by side, and he washes out and falls back one. So now we're going to go into turn 4, and oh man, look at that. We were offline for turn 4, and we lose another one to 32. We're going to tuck right in behind Celso Pierre here, and as we take a look behind, we can see Brian Langone in the 37, and he has got a much better run through that hairpin there. He's going to open this corner up, and he's going to try to put it up on our inside, coming into the carousel, but he doesn't even need to. He drives right around us, and he tows Michael Chen through as well. We're going to go side by side with Michael Chen on the way in. I probably should have just tucked back behind him there because there wasn't really any way that I was going to gain that, and it's going to compromise my exit onto the horseshoe. There you can see he's saying, "You should have tucked in." I know I should have tucked in. Hindsight is 20/20, Michael. So now we're on the horseshoe, and we're starting to reel this group in a little bit. But you can see this is right where my kart starts to struggle. We stop gaining right on the threshold from the medium to high RPM. And as we come out onto the start-finish straight, I'm not sure if I had a compromised exit there or what, but they just absolutely ditched me. So we're going to move ahead to lap 4, and here we can see Brian Langone in the 37. He's going side by side with Michael Chen, and we're just going to absolutely toss the kart onto the apex. Was that a well-thought-through move? No, but sometimes you got to send it, especially when you've already lost 12 positions. There's not a whole lot more that could go wrong here. I mean, maybe my kart could blow up, but other than that, I'm pretty much as far back as I can go. We turn behind, we can see Heather Perrin. Thank God for Heather Perrin. She found me falling through the field and decided to give me a push for a little while to see if we could catch this pack up ahead. And as we turn that camera up ahead, we can see these 3 cars battling on track. We've got Celso Pierre in the 32. We've got Brian Langone in the 37, and the 58 is piloted by Andres Barreto. So we're going to try to capitalize on the side-by-side action into the carousel here. We're going to just throw it here, but not the best move. I don't know what it was. I was pretty slow through the carousel, particularly this last weekend. I definitely got to work on that in practice. But Heather Perrin pushes us around, and she ends up taking our spot right behind the 58 there. She's going to really limit our ability to come over to the racing line, and then she disappears back to the racing line, but unfortunately her exit gets compromised by this slidey action here. So we're going to get a nice easy run here around Brian Langone, our rival for this race. we're going to jump ahead to lap 8, and as we take a look behind us, we can see our good buddy from camp, Brian Langone, right behind us in the 37, and he's looking for pretty much any opportunity he can find to get around. He knows he's going to have a pretty good run through here, so he's going to throw it up on our inside. He takes the apex, he does a little slide, and he can't hold on to it. His exit was not hooked up enough. So we're going to pull away, but as you can see, even with his compromised exit, he just reels us right in. I was really feeling like the top-end power of this particular kart was hurting me a lot in this race. So he's going to go for it. He does kind of an over-undery thing. I'm not sure how he did it, but it looked really good from my perspective. I felt like I got really punked through the carousel there. But he leaves the apex open, so we're going to punk him right back through the horseshoe. We're going to take this side by side, and we're going to be going into the Long Beach hairpin, the final corner on the track, side by side. He's going to edge us out just a little bit, and we're right there behind him. Nothing we can do about it. He had the apex, so we're going to try to tuck in for 1 second, get the draft, and we're going to throw it right up along his inside here for turn 1, and that lets us grab it as we go in through the complex of turn 2 and 3, and by the time we get to the turn 4 hairpin, he has already begun to catch us up. You can see as we start coming up here, he runs right up into us. He's got a ton of pace on us here, and we're on lap 9, so we don't have a lot of time to mess around for this position. We're in 12th, and I don't really see any way that we're going to gain anything up ahead, so I'm trying to drive very defensively to see if we can hold on to 12th and maybe get a decent start in the B main. Ryan ends up coming back up our inside. We get bound up a little bit here. We're going side by side. He opens it up a lot nicer than I do, and that gives him a much better entry into the carousel. So as we come out of the carousel, he limits my exit, keeps me all the way over to the left side here. Really, really good job. Very, very good driving from Brian there on that overtake. So we're going to see if we can hold him through the carousel, and I look to maybe try to stick my nose out and dive into Long Beach, but I think, all right, let's wait a little while longer. I didn't realize we were on lap 9. And here we go. As we cross the start-finish line, we got the white flag. This is going to be the last lap of the race. He gives me a little nudge there on my nose. And as I try to come in behind him, oof, I come across Heather Perrin's nose. I was just angry about him coming across my nose, and I just absolutely punk Heather Perrin coming across her nose. So as we come through Long Beach on the last lap, he's going to have a little slide, but it's not going to be enough. We really didn't have the kart for it. So we're going to come over the line in 13th position. With our heat finished, let's go visit with our good buddy Vince Azua in the paddock.
Good luck.
Thanks, man.
Shitty fucking day.
Dude,
Fucking cart broke on fucking, like, the steering fucking bolt broke. Fuck, I couldn't even finish the fucking race.
say hi to YouTube.
Hello, what's up?
Here we are, back on the grid. We're in 7th. It's the B main. We've got a very familiar helmet up ahead with Jeremy Aldridge, and then one more ahead of him is Jacob Reese, another friend of the channel. We are going to go side by side here with Celso Pierre to try to grab a position there, but we really don't have it. He's going to edge us out, and we're going to have to tuck in behind him for a little while longer. Now, I'm a lot more comfortable with this group of drivers. This is a lot of my Sprint Series crowd, and I'm pretty confident among most of the Sprint Series guys. So as long as we're not with any of these elite Super Series drivers, my confidence is very high, and my lap times were reflecting that. So as we can see, there is a lot of commotion on this first lap, but not as much as usual. Usually we, gain or lose 10 or 15 positions on that first lap. We've had a lot of races like that. But we started in 7th, and so far we are tucking into 7th. Celso does a little Tokyo drift there, and I think I'm going to be able to tuck up his inside, but I can't. We're going to have to hold on to it. I'm getting a little concerned because that top group is leaving us, but then he opens it up, and I was right behind him, so I could capitalize on that, and we jump on the apex for the horseshoe. Hopefully we can get all the way around him by the time we get to Long Beach. He's tucked in. He looks like he's going to maybe look for it, but he gives me a little punt there, and we end up side by side. He's got Michael Chen right behind him. They're pushing each other up, but luckily I've got the run this time, and we're going to go side by side with Celso Pierre into turn 1. We hold on to it just for 1 second, drop back, and we're right there behind him. Luckily, Michael Chen didn't get around us there in the train like I know he was hoping to. Now we have got to try to find a better place to overtake Celso. We're fighting with him a lot in the heat. We didn't manage to get past him in the heat, so we're going to have to try to look for a weak link in his armor here to maybe make up some positions. But look ahead, we can see that we're starting to catch that group. There must have been some infighting. Jacob Reese is all the way on the back there. So I'm going to try to push him up to this group up ahead. Psych, we're going to go up the inside. Going into carousel, let's go for it. So side by side into carousel, we hold on to it. Look at that, right behind us. He looks to try to tuck up the outside there for the horseshoe, but outside of the horseshoe is not where you want to be. So we're going to be able to hook it up for the horseshoe, hold on to the position, and he's going to have to drive right into the back of us. Give me all that speed you've got there. Is he going to look for a move? No, he does not look for a move. This time, he's going to go for the push. We're going to turn that camera around and set our targets on Jacob Reese. Let's jump ahead to about midway through lap 3. And here we're coming through the hairpin. We can see that Jacob takes this side-by-side route out of that hairpin. And that is telling me that if he continues to do that, we should be able to train past him on the right side with that column of cars. And I point, Celso Pierre is right behind me, I'm pointing at Jacob saying, Celso, just don't jump me for a little while, you and me will both jump Jacob. So we come up, they're going side by side again, and they are now firmly within my grasp, and I'm right behind Jacob. I'm really starting to think about this move now. As we come down the hill, I'm really hoping that he gets that same exit on Jeremy Aldridge up ahead of him, and they go side by side, and I can go push up on the bumper for Jeremy and use that to get through. It looks like he's gonna go for it. Yep, he's going side by side. We're gonna go and we're gonna glue ourselves to the bumper of Jeremy Aldridge in the 23 right here. Jacob notices me there. Oop, not thrilled about that. He's even less thrilled when he turns around and notices Celso coming through as well. So we're both going to be able to train through here. Jacob's going to be Celso's problem now, and I am going to focus on Jeremy Aldridge up ahead. We have done a lot of racing together lately, so I got a lot of trust and respect for Jeremy on track. I'm really looking forward to trying to catch this top 3. We've got this group of 3 up ahead, but it looks like I've got the speed, so I'm just going to go for it. See if we can get a 2-for-1 done, and we get 2 spots in 1 lap here. We're going to go up into 4th place. And Jeremy behind us is going to tuck in that 23, and hopefully we'll be able to catch that top 3. We're going to jump ahead to lap 8, 3 laps further, and Jeremy and I have managed to work together enough to get away from Celso and Jacob behind. So he throws it up the inside here, but it looks like he just does not have the speed on the exit. We're going to try to limit his line a little bit there. And we're going to hold on to the position for at least the rest of this straight here. But he's reeling us in so easy that the draft is very, very powerful in that rear straight. And by the time we make it to the carousel, he's already pushing on my bumper again. I give him a little head nod as if to say, all right, let's push ahead forward. And we do. We make it all the way up to lap 11. And on lap 11, he's still right there behind me. We've got an even bigger gap behind. He looks to go for it. He's going to try to grab it. This is the last lap of the race. This is lap 12. He backs out at the last second. He doesn't have it. And it looks like we're going to be able to hold on to it maybe for a little while longer. We come around turn 4, and we have got just enough gap. I cannot feel him pushing on my bumper, but I know he's behind me. And I know he's pretty much just as quick as I am most laps. And you can see that right there. He's starting to reel me in a little bit. He takes a little bit of a cleaner line through this hairpin there. And I'm worried that he's going to be able to make it up the inside of the carousel. So I'm going to take a pretty defensive line once we get out onto this straight. And we're going to move pretty far over to the left side there and try to deny him going up the inside. He's going to push us through the carousel. You can see he's got the speed to be pushing us through the whole carousel. He's right on us. And we're going to be real defensive. We're going to keep it closed, and then we're going to open it up with him. And he turns in a little bit too late, and that is our saving grace. That late turn-in means that we are going to come into Long Beach uncontested. I don't know that, though, so I'm taking the defensive line. We're coming into Long Beach uncontested. We turn the camera around, and we are going to cross the line in 4th place. That is my best finish in the Super Series, but we are looking for that A main. Guys, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. We have new live streams every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and new videos every Wednesday morning. That's a blooper for you guys who made it to the end.